Well, good afternoon, White County. Hope this live feed finds you well today. We wanted to come to you and just give you a recap of the storms that came through overnight and through this morning, and where we currently stand, and the potential for a little bit of a wintry precipitation later on this evening. First of all, I want to say thank you for being patient as we go through this system, and everybody doing and being safe out there. Today's we didn't really experience what we had expected in the forecast models, and I wanted to say just thank you for everybody that participated and is watching us live and listening to our preparedness actions and such. One thing I want to mention to you today is we did notice some comments in some of our postings about school closures and why that happens sometimes, and I wanted to just give you some information. We meet with our county school officials each and every time that we have a potential event that could affect the safety of our students. And in doing so, we provide them the forecast information and what the National Weather Service projects and predicts for our area. And in doing so, we give them some advice, and then they make a decision, not only based on the information they receive, but also what other school systems in the region or the area are doing. And the number one reason we do that is to keep your students, your kids safe, and that is one of our number one priorities. So sometimes we have to make those decisions just by the information we receive. And like today, it didn't really turn out to be all that bad, but the potential was there. If you see the news later on tonight, or you've seen on local media or social media, you see where neighbors in South Georgia, from Metro Atlanta to South, all the way through Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, and then continuing up towards the East Coast, are receiving severe weather off of these storms that come through. So we fared very well. We still have a few of our streets that are still closed or maybe impassable due to some flooding issues, but those things should be cleared up pretty soon. And again, we want to thank the public safety, public works folks, our city and county, state partners for all the work that was taking place today to keep you guys safe. And we're here for you. I'm going to turn it to Don Strength now, who's going to give you just a little bit of a recap of what took place over the last few hours and what we can expect later on this evening. So, Don, thank you very much.
Thank you, David. And I want to piggyback off of something David said there and what he was talking about just for a few moments. And we'll talk about where we've been and where we're going weather-wise across White County. Folks, the good Lord's still in charge. He always will be. He was in charge the day the lights were turned on. He'll be in charge the day the lights are turned off. Modern technology, humans have gotten really good at giving us weather information and what to expect. But as far as being specific and giving you information as to exactly what's going to happen in your front yard, there's very little science to that in today's world. And I know we live in a world where we expect everything right now, and we expect everything to be accurate and true. And the forecast was 100% spot on for the region. But being able to tell you exactly what's going to take place in Cleveland, Georgia, or exactly what's going to take place in Helen, Georgia, 24 hours before a weather event is almost impossible to do. We can tell you what the possibilities are, and that's what we have to plan on. And so I can assure you in this event, even though it didn't turn out the way it could have, like David said, all you have to do is look just maybe 75 miles south of White County, and you're going to start seeing damage even down as far north as Gwinnett County, all the way down through Henry County and then on down into South Georgia. Tremendous number of tornado warnings during the overnight, and there are a lot of people out there without power that are hurt this morning from Panama City, actually from Mobile, Alabama, over to Panama City, all the way up the Georgia East Coast. So it could have been, it wasn't right here in White County, but I can assure you we were ready for it, and we will get ready for it every single time we have that possibility, because one of these days it is going to happen. We've got to be prepared to deal with that to keep you safe during times of severe weather across White County. All right, so let's talk about where we have been. Let's put a graphic up that's going to show you some information that we have been able to obtain. Now, understand these are not official numbers, but I wanted to point out a few things here, and we'll start with Helen. We're seeing 4.36 inches of rain. That's a total, and again, folks, that's not an official number, and some rain gauges may have had more than that. Some rain gauges may have had less than that. But that's what we're showing. Peak wind gust of 28 miles per hour, and that was at 11:53 this morning. Sawtee, 4.06 inches of rain with a 31 mile per hour wind gust at 6:08 a.m. this morning. WRWH in Cleveland reporting 3.96 inches of rain with a 41 mile per hour wind gust at 8:30. And here's the interesting part. If you'll notice there, Cleveland, out there at Leaf Grocery, and then across Walker Mountain down there in the southwest corner of White County, down there around Little Lumpkin, that same wind gust at just about the exact same time as it moved from southwest to northeast across White County, there at 41 miles per hour. Leaf out there at Duncan Bridge and 115 had 4.96 inches of rain, and Walker Mountain down the southwest side with 3.33 inches of rain. Again, these numbers are not official. The radar estimated rainfall totals are a little bit different from this. They're actually a little bit less than this. So I would tend to go with these numbers versus what the radar is depicting this afternoon. So the threat of heavy rain has gone. That's moved on into South Carolina. The high wind warning that was in effect for White County has since been canceled and replaced with a wind advisory. We could still have breezy conditions this afternoon. I was outside just a moment ago, and it's actually more breezy out there right now than it has been the last several hours. That's going to be that wind coming out of the west associated with the actual low pressure system itself, which is still off to our northwest. That is going to sweep through here this afternoon and into the overnight hours. And if we'll take that radar shot, Bryce, I'll show you what may transpire later on this evening. You'll notice up here around St. Louis, Missouri, back over towards Springfield, Missouri, that's the wraparound moisture that's wrapping around this big low pressure center that's sitting up there around Bloomington. That is going to rotate to the southeast and come right across Tennessee and then curve on off toward the East Coast, maybe right across Nashville and Knoxville. And that's going to bring wraparound moisture right across North Alabama and North Georgia. And we believe that's going to be in the form of snow showers. It may start off as a mixture of rain and snow, and then it's going to transition into probably all snow. A little sleet could be mixed in from time to time. And we could see a dusting up to an inch of snow across the extreme northern parts of the state of Georgia, and I would expect that to happen above 1,500 feet. Now, Cleveland is at 1,500 feet. So from Cleveland, probably north, there could be a dusting on cold surfaces. We're talking about grassy areas, your rooftops, automobiles. If we get snow falling at a high enough rate, we could see, or it could appear, it's accumulating on roadways. But I promise you, as soon as the snow slows down, that will melt away. Our overnight low tonight's only going to be right there at 32. So roadways, that asphalt retains heat. It is not going to make it to 32 degrees while the precipitation is still in the area. So we're not anticipating any travel problems with this wraparound moisture that will come through here tonight. And again, the best chances of accumulating snow will be in the higher regions up on the ridge tops across the Appalachian Mountain chain, though we could see a half inch or so in places like Cleveland and up in the Helen area as well. So if the moisture holds together, and you'll see what's coming through Springfield right now, that's actually some pretty heavy snowfall. It's going to appear that maybe we have a pretty significant snowstorm going on out there. But here's the thing, it's not going to last long. And again, as soon as the snow rates diminish, then that snow is going to start melting off of the roadways. And we'll give you a little closer look at it here so you can see what I'm talking about. That's some pretty heavy snowfall rates right there around Springfield, Missouri, down around Ozark, just north of Branson. And it stretches for a couple of 100 miles all the way to the north up toward Kansas. So this may happen after sunset this evening and may continue for several hours during the overnight. I mean, this may be with us from 8 or 9 o'clock tonight all the way through about 4 or 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So we're talking about maybe a 6-hour window here where we could have some snow showers across North Georgia and particularly White County this evening. But again, don't get too overly concerned about it. This is not the type of setup that we need to get a good accumulating snow. This is just a brush with old man winter as we have a little wraparound moisture behind that low move to Georgia this evening. So I believe now we're going to go back over to Director Murphy, and he's going to do some Q&A and answer some questions, and I'll stand by in case I need to help answer some of those questions as well. I hope you guys enjoyed what we've done for you today, our lives that we did this morning from Helen. I think all of that worked out very well. This is all brand new technology to us, and we're going to continue fine-tuning all of this and making it better so that, heck, guys, 11 Alive down in Atlanta picked up our feed this morning. So we're making the big time up here in White County.
Well, we certainly don't know that we want to make the big time, Don, but, at least we're able to communicate with our constituents, because sometimes the Atlanta media market and the National Weather Service, they focus around that Atlanta metro area, and we just want to bring something local to you that will help you be prepared and be ready in case any severe weather or winter storms come our way, which they're going to. So we just ask you to continue to prepare for your family, plan for your family. One question that came up, Don, during during your broadcast was, what about schools tomorrow? We've already communicated with the school system today about the winter weather that could happen tonight. Right now, schools are on for tomorrow. That decision could change based on information that we received through the night. We usually talk to the school system by 4 a.m. on a particular day if there's any potential for a safety hazard or safety issues out there. So even though you're going to see some things like Don talked about, between 7 and 10 o'clock tonight, it's going to look like we may be in a real snowstorm or a real blizzard. But, all that should go away and travel should be safe after and for tomorrow. We would encourage you not to get out and ride around and look at the snow, because it will accumulate a little bit on the roads and cause some driving hazard for especially when it's heavy. And we don't want to overload our public safety and emergency responders. We want to keep them available for those emergencies that do occur. So if you can stay at home, please do so. Don't get out and travel tonight. But just listen out for your local school system. Again, we will be advising them throughout the night as we see things develop, and we will be communicating them. But as for right now, White County schools are open for tomorrow. Now, our neighbor over in Habersham County has made a decision for whatever reason. They may have some situations over there they're dealing with roads and flooding and stuff that they've already chosen to close for tomorrow. But that really doesn't affect White County at this point in time. So we'll keep you posted on that. Please reach out to us if you have any questions or anything we can provide for you. We're available on our websites at White County EMA Public Safety Facebook page, Instagram, also our White County GA.gov website. And, thank you so much for being part of our being with us and letting us share with our community. We're here for you. So anything you have that comes up, please don't hesitate to reach out. In the meantime, go to ready.gov. If you don't have an emergency plan for your home, a communications plan, an emergency preparedness kit, ready.gov, you'll see all the information there that will help you prepare for these events. Don?
And David, I would just add a couple of things too. It's very important as we really get into the thick of things here for the winter months across White County. Make sure that you like us on Facebook. Make sure you go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe and click that little bell. That makes sure that you get a push notification when we go live with these broadcasts. And you need to continuously like us on Facebook. That keeps us on your news feed. If you go several weeks without liking us or interacting with us in some shape, form, or fashion, then we'll drop off of your news feed and you won't get notified when we go live. So make sure that you do that. And we're watching the radar. We're watching the trends off to our northwest. We start to see snow in places like Blue Ridge and up there on the other side of the mountain up in Blairsville, then we know pretty good that it's coming our way. And we will plan on coming back later on this evening once we get a much better handle on whether or not we think it really is going to snow. Then we'll come back and do another live broadcast for you. At least Bryce and I will. David can certainly join us if you'd like to, so we can update you more as we get a little bit closer to a potential snow brush with old man winter tonight. Don't look for it to be a major deal, David. I wouldn't expect any major problems this evening.
Hey, one thing, Don, we keep mentioning Bryce. Bryce, come on in for your camera shot.
Yeah, we got to get
Bryce is he's our producer. He makes all this. He makes us look good. He puts all this together. So
I'm
Bryce,
here behind the scenes clicking on the buttons.
Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Bryce handles all of our graphics and really does a fantastic job for us. He's our public information officer for White County, and we are awfully blessed to have him. He makes Director Murphy and I look pretty good, David.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you all. Be safe out there. Keep tuned in to White County Public Safety.